It was late one evening when my wife sat across from me at the dining table, her eyes shifting nervously. She took a deep breath and said the words that shattered the image of the life I thought we shared. "I want an open marriage." My fork froze in midair as I tried to process her request. An open marriage? The very idea felt like betrayal dressed up as honesty. I didn't lash out, though. I kept my face calm, masking the storm inside me. She seemed almost relieved by my silence, mistaking it for acceptance. When I finally spoke, I said, "If that's what you want, then fine. I agree." She smiled, thinking she had won some kind of battle, but in reality, that was the moment I began plotting my revenge. That night I barely slept. My mind raced between anger, sadness, and clarity. If she wanted freedom to betray me, then I would give her more than she bargained for. I decided I wouldn't argue, wouldn't beg, and wouldn't try to hold her. Instead, I would end things on my terms, and she would never see it coming. The next morning, I quietly reached out to a divorce lawyer. I explained everything, her request, my plan, and how I wanted the divorce papers ready as quickly as possible. The lawyer assured me that we could move fast, especially since I had already gathered proof of her late-night outings and suspicious behavior. That evening, she came home cheerful, as if she had been set free. She cooked dinner, hummed songs, and acted like nothing was wrong. I played along, eating with her, smiling when needed, but inside I felt nothing but cold determination. Every laugh she gave me was another reminder of how little respect she had for our marriage. Over the next day, I prepared carefully. I gathered my financial records, secured my personal belongings, and ensured my lawyer had everything needed. I even made copies of text messages she thought I hadn't seen, her flirty exchanges with men she claimed were just friends. Each screenshot was another nail in the coffin of our marriage. On the second evening, she casually brought up her new rules. She wanted to spend weekends away with friends, and she expected me not to ask questions. I nodded, pretending to agree, and told her I understood. Inwardly, I almost laughed at how blind she was to what was coming. The very next morning, I walked into my lawyer's office and signed the final documents. It felt strangely liberating. For the first time in months, maybe years, I felt in control. The papers were filed that same day, and I left knowing there was no turning back. When I got home, she was already packing a small bag. She said she was going out for the night and kissed me on the cheek as if everything were normal. I smiled back, holding in the satisfaction of what I knew she didn't. By the time she returned, she would no longer be my wife. She would be just another chapter in my past. The following day, I placed the official divorce papers neatly on the kitchen counter. I didn't write a note, didn't leave an explanation. The silence of those documents would speak louder than any words I could ever say. Then I packed my own things and walked out of the house that had once been our home. That evening, she came back. I can only imagine the look on her face when she saw the papers waiting for her. No arguments, no discussions, no second chances, just the legal reality of her choices staring back at her. She had asked for freedom, and I had given it to her in the most permanent way possible. My phone rang several times that night. Her number flashed on the screen, but I didn't answer. She left messages, her voice swinging between anger and desperation. She begged me to talk, saying she hadn't meant to hurt me, that maybe they were just words said in the heat of the moment. But I knew better. Once someone shows you who they really are, you believe them. Days passed, and the messages turned into longer emails filled with apologies and excuses. She wrote about how she thought an open marriage would spice things up, and how she never thought I would take it this far. Each word only confirmed how little she understood the depth of the damage she caused. I didn't respond to a single message. Instead, I focused on moving forward. I reconnected with old friends, picked up hobbies I had abandoned, and started rebuilding my life piece by piece. The more distance I created, the lighter I felt. Her betrayal had been the push I didn't know I needed to find myself again. In the end, my revenge wasn't loud or cruel. It wasn't about hurting her the way she hurt me. It was about reclaiming my self-respect and walking away without looking back. She thought she was gaining freedom, but in truth, I was the one who had been set free.